Hey friends, it's Megan, Georgia Girl Stitching here on YouTube and on Instagram. It is Sunday, January 7th, 2024, and I'm back for FlossTube number 42, my first FlossTube of the new year. I also have Kaya here next to me-ish, and Tank is below me. The lighting here is gonna be interesting. The weather has just sucked here for the last few days, and this is my last day for the rest of this week. For a while that I can do this video. So we're just gonna make it work. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season into 2023, whatever that looked like for you. I hope you're able to get lots of stitching in, hopefully some rest and whatever you needed during that time. And I hope that 2024 has started off well for you as well. It's been crazy around here. We traveled a lot at the end of December. Well, really throughout December, we traveled quite a bit. And then for Christmas, we actually went with my parents and David's mom down to the Keys, the Florida Keys. We did 2 days of traveling in both directions. We stopped over in Jacksonville on the way down and did the 23rd through the 28th in the Keys, and it was amazing. So had an incredible time there. Got to revisit where we got married and, you know, got to have some new adventures and go to Key West for a day, and we had a great time. And the traveling actually went pretty smoothly. The pups did incredible. They really bonded over the trip too, which we're super happy about. They did all the snuggling in the back of the truck. It was incredible. The cab of the truck. So it was amazing. It was also the truck's first voyage, big voyage, and loaded it down. We brought our Christmas tree with us. We completely decorated the Airbnb with like our own Christmas decorations, and it was just a ton of fun. So love that. And then came back on David's birthday. So David's birthday was the 29th. So we left the Keys on the 28th, stopped over in Jacksonville, and then came back on the 29th, met some friends once we got back for a drink to celebrate. And then I was actually alone with the dogs on New Year's Eve. David and one of his best friends went up to DC to watch the 49ers Commanders game. They're huge 49ers fans. Well, his friend has converted David into a 49ers fan. So we are, I guess now a 49er. I still have some allegiance to the Bengals from my time in Cincinnati, but overall, David is full on 49ers now. So they were there, and they actually spent the night in DC on New Year's Eve. So the pups and I had a day together. It wasn't quite quiet. They could not really get settled. So it was, you know, stitching and then taking the dogs for a big walk. Stitching, dogs for a big walk. So it was a lot of fun though. It was nice just to have a day at home after being gone for so long. So yeah, and then yesterday was a big day. David officially left for dive school. So if you're new here, my husband is in the Navy. He's a physician in the Navy, but he is paying back his time that they paid for medical school right now, and left for dive school yesterday. So he's currently in Groton, Connecticut, and it is snowing apparently a lot. And he is not a fan of cold or snow. So of course he moves up to Connecticut in January. So he'll be bouncing around a few different places over the next 6 months. I have the opportunity to visit him a little bit. Like, I'm gonna go at the end of this month for a long weekend, and then we can't really plan after that. Between my rotation schedule and like when he's gonna be bouncing around, we don't really know. So I'll definitely see him in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and then after that, you know, it could be June before I see him again. I'm hoping to at least see him at the end of May. Worst case, hopefully by the end of May. But like, he's not even guaranteed to be able to like come to my med school graduation, but this is what we signed up for. He's excited to this is kind of something that he's been wanting to do most of his life. So he's, you know, excited, sad that we're not going to be together for the next 6 months, but he's excited for this new adventure, and it sets him up really well for the rest of his career. So he'll be, hopefully because he's doing this, he'll get, oh, hello, son. He'll get stationed wherever I match for residency. So it's a good thing. It's just going to be interesting over the next 6 months. Like, he'll probably never come back to this apartment. I'll probably have moved by the time that he comes home. So yeah, so sent him off. So we spent the whole last week packing and doing last things, you know, for the final time and that kind of thing. So he left yesterday morning, got in very safely. And then my mom is actually on her way up right now. So mom's coming up today. She'll be here Monday and Tuesday. And then she and I on Wednesday leave for Cincinnati because we're going to Stitch Away together. Keepsakes in Cincinnati has a retreat in January called Stitch Away at Houston Woods Lodge. And she and I, we went together in 2020, right before, you know, the world shut down. And we're going back again this year. So we're super excited. We're gonna be at Stitch Away Thursday morning, but we're driving to Cincinnati on Wednesday, spending the night in Cincinnati so we can do some Cincinnati things, and then heading up to Houston Woods Thursday morning. So super excited. That's kind of like an overall, a lot's been going on. I also finished my residency interviews, so I'm done with that. I submit my rank list at the end of February, and then I find out March 15th. So a lot going on. Dogs have been great. Kaya is almost 40 pounds. I know. So I almost can't lift her anymore. Not as easily. I can't like hold her, you know, as easily, but I have lots of stitching to show you. I have had a ton of time for stitching and I have been using it. So I'm going to start with the finish that I had. I did do a small video about this, at the end of December, about once I finish this, but I'm gonna go ahead and show it here in case you didn't have a chance to watch that. I finished my Beach Quaker. This is on 40 count waterfall by Color and Cotton using all DMC. Kaya. I also don't have anyone helping me with the dogs anymore, so if you hear barking, I'm sorry. This is on 40 count. It is 4.5 by 4.5 inches. I just have a piece of styrofoam for get some white behind it. And oh, I just love stitching this so much. This is available on both my Gumroad and my Etsy store now. And I also want to show you how I'm going to plan to finish it. That's a better representation of the fabric. When I come up close, it kind of, and it's also brighter like that. When I come up close, it kind of washes it out, makes it darker. The stitching itself is brighter. So I found this piece at Hobby Lobby that I'm excited for, that I'm gonna finish this on. Sorry. It's called it has like this, it looks like, it's in the beach decor section that has like the mermaids and stuff. And I'm gonna finish it on that. And I'm super excited, so it can hang up. This is the back if you want the information on it. It was half off when I went, so it was even cheaper than that, but still not crazy expensive at full price. But yeah, so it's a 6 inch like square. So I'll have 1.5 inches of border. So whoever finishes it for me might need to do like a little bit of a background to hide any words, but I'm excited about that. So that is now available. And then I'm gonna go through, just because that's how it's listed, like how it's on the table, I'm gonna go through my New Year's Eve starts. So the past 2 years I've done 12 by 12, which is by Kia B, where you do like 12, the original was like 12 new starts by midnight. So you worked from noon to midnight, you started a new thing, 1 hour. I did that the first year. And then the second year, so 2022, I did half and half, or I did new starts and whips. And then this past year, 2023, I just didn't really do, I did have 3 new starts and I did my own thing, but I like could not sit for 12 hours and stitch. And I also didn't want to have 12 new starts. That just wasn't gonna work. And then just me being alone with the dogs and them being needy. Cause this is how I would love for them to be all the time, but we'll take it when we can get it. Zoomies and walks and, you know, living animals needing things. So, and then plus like doing laundry, catching up from the break. I just wasn't able to like spend all day stitching, unfortunately. But I did get 3 new starts in that I wanted to. And those 3 starts, what I decided to do was I wanted to put 240 stitches in each of them. So when I did, so that for like 2024, 240 new stitches. And that would set me up where I actually like see something on there. And so I just kind of did it. Once I hit 240, I moved to the next thing. It could take me however long to get there. I just didn't switch until I hit 240. I'll blank it down a little bit if you want to see Kaya more. Okay. I'm gonna not say her name anymore. Okay, so first one I did was Let's Talk Stitching, which I just realized. One moment. Okay, sorry about that. So one of the ones I started is, well, I guess a restart, is Let's Talk Stitching by Hands On Design. I originally started this in the 2021 12 by 12, but the fabric that I chose just wasn't working with white. It was a 40 count aqua and the white just was not showing up. So I decided to change it to 40 count Lagoon. And this is as far as I got. 240 stitches in. I love it on this Lagoon. The white shows up beautifully. All the colors should. I also am changing the greens. They're more of like the yellow greens, and I'm changing them to be more like bluer greens. So I think it's like 905 and 906 or something like that is what I'm changing them to. I just like greener greens. I don't really like limey yellow greens. Yeah. When I get to a green, I'll talk about it. I don't have it pulled right now. It's either the 900s or the 700, early 700s. Those are kind of where I go to when I'm changing out greens. I go to like 90, 906, 907. Is that right? Or 699 to 704. Those are kind of the greens I go for. But that's 240 stitches on that one. And then one of the other ones I did was called, or another restart, as Beach Chairs by Dimensions. I started this on our honeymoon in June of 2021, and I immediately messed up. Like, when I went to go work on it again, not even, it was while I was working on it, I realized like from the very beginning I made a mistake and I just needed to restart it. I didn't get very far, like at all. So so that's the pattern. This, I'm also changing the fabric. It came with an Aida. I'm changing it to 32 count Touch of Blue linen. And this is 240 stitches on it. So I'm starting in that green chair. This fabric is so stiff too. I'm hoping it kind of loosens up as I go. But the pattern right now isn't too bad to follow. I mean, I get used to paper charts again. I'm so used to Pattern Keeper now, and it's the back stitch is so overwhelming that it's, you know, trying to follow the pattern. But overall, so far it hasn't been bad. Very pretty. So it's 240 stitches on that one. And then the last one was what I'm considering my New Year new start. So it's a brand new start. I started it towards the end of New Year's Eve, so I'm considering it New Year, New Start. And this is my, I started this with Laura, Stitching by the Shore. A few other people have joined in too. I'm sorry, I did not write down the names that Laura mentioned, but if you watch her video, she talks about all the people that are also stitching this. And I'm stitching this on 40 count Compelling Conscious from Those Missing Stitches, which I just learned has a FlossTube, did not know. So I gotta check her out. And I started in the center of this one. Oh, here's the cover photo, if I haven't already been showing it. It's from Long Dong Samplers, Fish and Ships is what I'm sorry. Gotta get back into the groove of this. Okay, Fish and Ships, Long Dong Samplers. Started with Laura by Stitching by the Shore, stitching it on 40 count Compelling Conscious on Etsy from Those Missing Stitches. I started in the center. This is 240 stitches. Oh, so pretty, that fabric. I'm stitching it in all white for right now, but I'm considering, the white just looks so good on it. I'm considering for some of the motifs, especially ones that are like significant for me, stitching in a different color. Have not decided if I'm gonna do that or what color I would do. Thinking like maybe like a navy blue or darker blue, because like a lighter teal blue would not show up on this, obviously. So I'm thinking, so this is the white so far. Oh, it's so good. And then potentially doing a navy for some of the other. That's accurate for the fabric. I also am not doing, so I didn't realize this was part of the pattern when I originally got it. There, if you look on the picture, I'll pull it up right here. There is a very thick white line that goes all the way around the border. I originally thought that that was a frame. Like when she, on her cover photo, that was like a, I don't know, like a fake frame that people will do with mock-ups. I did not realize that was stitched. So I am not doing that stitching. I'm gonna do, so the fish have like stitches coming up from them that looks like kind of like bubbles. I'll do that border, but I am not doing the double solid thick line all the way around. When I put that, so I went ahead and marked that off of Pattern Keeper, and when I did, it took off 10% of the pattern. So 10% of this pattern is that double border. So I'm just personally not doing that. I don't really think it needs it. And when I crop it, when I like screenshot to crop that off, I like the result without it. So also it'll be easier for framing when you don't have to like get that whole border to go straight. So yeah, I love this. I'm definitely wanting to get much more into this. It's so easy to stitch. It's my first long dog. Well, no, it's my second long dog. It's my first long dog that I'm doing like not 1/1, because I'm doing 1 down 3 across and it's all 1/1. So that's a little different. I just love her patterns. They're so easy to follow. They're in Pattern Keeper, which is so nice. So those are my 3 starts from New Year's Eve. Now I'll show you, I've worked on a few other patterns. To and from the Keys, I had lots of stitching time in the car. And so I worked on 2 pieces specifically during that time and made a good bit of progress. So the one I worked on mostly down was my Nautical Flags sampler. This is my design. This is on 40 count anthracite, all DMC. I got this entire row in. So last time you saw it, I'd only finished up to L, and then I had the letters in, but I didn't have the flags. So I got all those flags in and the next row of letters. Just a lot of stitching, so. It's so easy, especially the Q. I was so easy in the car, I didn't have to count. I just had to get the first line right, and then zoom, 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 zoom. So, love it. This is definitely a goal to finish early this year. There's still a good bit left. I'm just now at like 55%. So I have 2.5 more rows of flags and then all the numbers. Oh, hopefully I've showed a model of stitching, cover photo at this point. And then I worked on this one in the car, but also we finished the crown and I cried. Oh my gosh, episode 10, especially if you watch The Crown, lament with me over how incredible that episode was. I think episode 10 is officially like my favorite episode of all time, of like any show, anything. Like how they were able to incorporate her funeral was just beautiful. So anyway, I stitched on this a lot. This is E2R is what I call it. It's a pattern that I converted from a needlepoint kit that I had. And then I changed the crown to be her imperial state crown that was on her casket. And the one that like I feel like she wore a lot most, or like represents her more. I designed the crown. So this is on my Gumroad for free if you want this pattern. The rest of it is a conversion from a needlepoint kit, so it's not my original work. So I can't share that, but I'm doing it. I think like 28% at this point with it. So I got a lot done on it. Originally, when last time you saw it, I just had the crown and this little red part, so I've gotten all of this in. And then this is Petite Treasure Braid 04, is 2022. And then over here, cover photo if you haven't seen it. And then the E to R is gonna be in the same petite treasure braid. And this is on 40 count raw. Ooh. I don't know why my coloring just changed. It's weird. It's weird, let's try that again. Here we go. The cloud coverage and everything right now, I have like lamps and like stuff. It's just January. January weather is just my least fave. But yeah, so that's where we got on that. And then this one I didn't work a ton on. I've already like not fulfilled my my goal for this. I changed my goal for this one. This is Hammock at Sunset by Stitch X Cross Stitch Designs. I got this on Etsy. It's a little beat up, so it's not perfect, but you get the idea. I'm stitching this on 22 count white Aida. And my goal was to do 250 stitches a week on this, and that would make it where I could easily finish it next year. I think I'm gonna change that to a monthly goal because like when I get in the groove on something, I don't necessarily want to change just randomly. So I want to have a monthly goal. Also, if there's a week that like I just can't get much stitching in, I don't want to like already be failing. So I've already failed this week because last week I didn't get 250 stitches in on this one. I got some, but not that much. So I'm gonna go to 1,000 stitch monthly goal. It's essentially the same thing, but then I can do more and whatnot, and I don't feel like a failure each week. So this is where I'm at on it. One page completely done. You probably can't tell much difference. I got this yellow part in right here. So just most of the rest of this page is yellow. And then these spots here is when the palm tree is starting to come in. So you can kind of see that spot. Those spots are the palm firs coming in. So the page break goes above the water. So the page break's actually like right here. Yeah, it's like right here. So I have mostly like yellows and a little bit of orange left. So yeah. So we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. I still absolutely love this piece and want to work on it. I just need more motivating time. I think I just need to be, I can't just randomly pick this up. I don't know, it's just not how my brain works. So excited to work on it though. And then last but definitely not least, this is a piece I have worked on since January 1st. This has been my absolute obsession since January 1st. I think it's been the only piece I've worked on all week. Yeah, which is why I didn't get any work done on Hammock at Sunset. The stitches I got at Hammock at Sunset were technically the 31st, but that was a Sunday, so that was part of the week, you know? But anyway, this is September from Northern Expression Needlework. Here's a mock-up of the original photo, the original model. And then this is a mock-up basically of my color conversion. So I am stitching this for my best friend who got married back in September, whose birthday is also September, and whose husband's birthday is also in September. So September is a very important month for them. I am doing a color conversion to their wedding colors. She had 4 jewel-toned wedding colors, and her main jewels were pearls, and her main color, like accent color, was silver. So I'm kind of incorporating all of that, and this is gonna be their 1-year wedding anniversary gift. I gave them something different for the actual wedding. I couldn't get this together in time to actually stitch it in time for the wedding, but also I wanted to wait to see all the dresses together. I hadn't seen I've seen the pictures online of what the dresses would look like, but I didn't see the colors of the actual dresses. So I kind of wanted to wait and see how the wedding shook out before I committed to it. I also didn't quite realize how much pearls were going to be a part of it. So until, you know, she was putting pearls everywhere. So I'm glad I waited, but now it's going to be a 1-year wedding anniversary. So this is where I'm at, and I am ecstatic. So last time you saw it, I had ETP, like, stitched. Like, I had started in the center with the 1/1 September, which has by far been the worst part of this pattern, was the 1/1 September. It just took forever and really bogged me down. But once I got that done, it zooms. The stitches are not that hard at all. I will say though, the pattern is not perfect with how she tries to teach the stitches. So, okay, so for example, and if you ever stitch this and want some tips and tricks, please let me know. I won't go into detail here because it's kind of hard to envision if you're not actually trying to stitch it. But for example, this stitch around, it's gonna be hard to focus on it. This is called a double back stitch, double back stitch or something like that. And these are not crosses. They're like crossing over twice. And what was hard about this is that in the pattern, she kind of gives a guide of how, like a little strip of how to do the stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, like that. But she only shows it going this direction. She doesn't show how to do the corners to convert it up. She doesn't say how to do it if you're going up or backwards or down. It's only showing this direction. And there is a pattern, but it doesn't have like the numbers. So I had to kind of make it up. I had to make up how to incorporate the corner. And again, the pattern kind of gives you an idea, but it's just not explicit. So you kind of have to do your best to figure it out. And then also, what was the other one that was like that? I can't remember now. There was somewhere else where I was like, that was not clear. Oh, well, these right here, I forget what she calls them. I just did these last night. So these stitches also, you can obviously not do an entire strand for that entire thing. So she doesn't really say how to connect them very well. I had to kind of create it because when I tried to do it the way that I think she was trying to insinuate, it looked bad. So I had to kind of create my own way. Sorry, it's not focusing very well. On how to make it all connect and look like it was one strand. But this is 3 rows of queen stitches, which I had never done a queen stitch before. It was a lot of fun, actually. It just took a lot of time, but I just love it so much. And then I have the pearls. The pearls are left over from my June piece that I did. And then also all the beads are. So the pearls and the white beads are left over from my June piece. But yeah, so at this point, I'm just gonna go around and then I'll be done. So this is as wide and long and everything, like this is the full size piece. So I need to finish this corner and then I'm gonna go up to the red and then over to the green and down to the orange and then I'm done. That's gonna take a lot of time. That's not to make it sound like it'll happen like tomorrow, but I'm just very happy because I wanna have this done by the end of February was my goal so that I have time to get it. I'm gonna get this professionally framed for them. But yeah, it's using a Vera Soie silks, and then the white is my leftover Almond M&M's Orchid from June. So yeah, and it's on 32 count raw silver. So I'm so happy about this. I'm so excited. I just love how much it's zoomed since I finished that September. And I've had a lot of time this week as well to stitch, which has been great, and just having this as my focus. So I have said though that I am not taking this to Stitch Away with me. I don't want to mess up, which I think could happen if I take it. It takes brain power to do for sure. But also I need to focus on some other projects. I need to take a break. I don't want to get burned out on this. And also like I have other goals that I want to accomplish this month. So I need to take a break and accomplish those goals. But I was trying to get I don't know why I won't focus up close, but you get the idea. obviously when I'm done, I'm gonna take a lot of close-up pictures of this, but yeah. So those are all of my active whips, or all the things I've worked on since I last saw you. And then I have a few plans. I am doing whip go this year, and I think there's only 3 whips that weren't able to make it to whip go because there's only 25 and I have 28. That is one of them. September is one of them. I guess it's called Sapphire, actually. I'm calling it September because I'm not doing it in the Sapphire colors. That's not on there because I want to finish it ASAP. So I don't want to wait till November, obviously. That's not on there. And then there's 2 other ones. Oh, Beach Chairs isn't on there. And Ricoli de Natale isn't on there because that one I'm kind of considering not a UFO. It's not a UFO, but it's not one of my most active whips. Like, I don't know when I'm going to work on it again. It's not a focus for this year. Beach Chairs kind of really isn't either of all of my whips. That's one that I'm not like rushing to get done or have big goals for or anything like that. So those are the 3 that didn't make it. But my whip go calls for this month are Spring in Stars Hollow. So Shelly, I'm going to work on it this month. And for whip go, I've decided for my goals, I have gold, silver, and bronze goals. So my gold goal, my ideal goal is that I get 240 stitches on each one. And then it's like I've made actual progress, 240, 24. And then that's like my ideal goal. My silver goal is 100 stitches because that really does not take me that long. Ultimately, it's like a strand and a half. Like, hopefully I can get a strand and a half in throughout the entire month on a project. So that's my silver goal. And then my bronze goal is 1 stitch. Just any time on it at all is my bronze goal. So hopefully I'll have golds for all around, but that is kind of how I'm tiering it. So Springs and Stars Hollow is one of my calls, and this is my starting point. This is on 40 Count Ophelia by Color and Cotton. So this is my starting point. So I have summer completely done, autumn has started, and then spring has started. So we'll see how far I can get. And I'm not necessarily going to stop at 240 either. Like, if I'm in a groove and I want to keep going, I'll keep going. But in order to hit my gold, I at least need 240. So this is going to situate with me. And then my other call is Madame Chantilly Celebrate Autumn. Thankfully, because this one needs some love. Hopefully, I would like to get more than 240. The only thing about this one is it's a paper chart, so it's not easy to count stitches. I am not someone who keeps track of that normally. I don't count each day or each project. Like, I really don't keep track of that. Pattern Keeper just does it for me. So if it's on Pattern Keeper, I'm happy to pay attention. But paper charts are going to be a little bit more work, which it's fine. And this is on 40 Count Mallow, and this is my starting place. Not very much. So I think Celebrate Autumn, I'm just gonna go rogue and just go tier by tier. Normally when I do her trays, I like do the entire tray and then go tier by tier. I think with this one, I'm just gonna go motif by motif and just, like, I've got that side of the tray already done. I'm just gonna go to the other side and work on her and get the other side done is my goal, which should be 240 stitches. If I can get, my goal is to get these 2 done at the minimum. That should be around 200. That's gotta be at least 240. So this is also coming to Stitch Away. So those are my Whip Go calls for the month. And then I have, so then my other things going to Stitch Away are gonna be the Nautical Flags, my Kind Fierce Brave, my Shores of Hawkrun Hollow, because I wanna finish that center block. So, and I haven't done the outline for it yet. So that could be really good Stitch Away stitching. Stitch Away, I'm trying to be very cautious of what I'm bringing, where I don't need a lot of counting. I don't need a lot of brain work, because there's going to be talking and distraction and food and, you know, all the fun things where I don't want to come back and be like, well, crap, I have all these things I have to rip out because I wasn't paying attention, you know, like, so Shores of Hawthorne Hall would be good because that's just straight line stitching. And then a beachcomber. I'm gonna bring beachcomber and see if I can reignite that one. That's also really easy counting. So that's all that's also what I'm bringing. And then I have a few gifts that I want to get started this month, maybe even at Stitch Away. Well, one I'm definitely starting before Stitch Away. So this is one I'm stitching. This was a gift to me from Tony. This is the Talk to Me Goose by Dirty Annie's. So David's dive school actually starts on Tuesday. So I want to start this on Tuesday. And I'm stitching it with Weeks Dye Works Navy. And then I forgot to grab it, but I'm going to do a black for the sunglasses. And I'm doing it on Hand Dyed by Rolanda Gray Matters. 46 count. So it's gonna be tiny, which I'm glad. I wanna make it kind of like an ornament for him. He has so much on his desk already that like, he doesn't need another stand up or anything right now. So that's what I'm thinking. It's gonna be one gift. And then the other gifts I need to start are actually, one is a haul. So this is from Ninny Design Crafts. She has these gnomes for sports teams. And she has so many colleges, all of NFL, MLB, all the team logos on these gnomes. The Etsy names for them are not descriptive. Like are not specific, I mean. It's like all these words, but none of them actually say which one it is. So I don't know if you can like search for it, but on she has a gnome page. And so I got this gnome, the 49ers, and I also got the UGA one too, because like I want a gnome. So my plan is I'm gonna do the 49ers gnomes. I'm gonna stitch those twice, and then put it with on 46 count, it would fit in a 4x6 frame. And I found these like double matte frame, not double matte. It's like a frame that has two 4x6 spots with like a mat that goes around them. So I'm gonna put the gnome on one side, and then David and Steve had a really awesome selfie of them at the game. And so I'm gonna have them side by side, and I'm gonna give one to each of the guys. Steve's birthday is in November, so my goal is to have that done. No, October. His birthday's in October. So my goal is to have those ready for those boys in October. At least Steve's. I mean, David's can wait. But they are basically twins at this point. It's kind of weird. David found his twin. So I know that game especially was really special for him. So I want to go ahead and get that started though. And then Lori, who is Steve's wife, who's also become a really good friend, her birthday is next month. And I forgot to grab the stuff, but I'm going to do like a little L ornament that in her favorite color. So I'm going to get that started too. So yeah, so those are some of the gifts that I'm getting started as well. And then my only other haul is Cross Stitch for Everyone. She was having an insane sale on her Etsy last month, like 75% off sale. It was something crazy, where her patterns were like $3. So I stocked up on some full coverages that I loved. And I think some of them were also gonna be going out of print or like unavailable. And I don't know which ones were and which ones weren't. I don't think she made that distinction, or if she did, I missed it. So I don't know which one of these you can still get and which ones you can't. So just putting that disclaimer out there. But I think I got 6 or 7. So I'll flash the photos up here as I read them. Winter Blue Wreath, which is an AI art. Santa and Dear Friend. Lab Approved Christmas. Florida. Bonded Pair. And a Mischievous Malamute. But the Malamute one, this one reminds me of Liberty, who's our husky. Well, I guess she's my parents' husky technically, but I helped raise her. She was born in 2011. So I helped raise Liberty. I was in high school. So she looks just like that Malamute looks just like Liberty. A Malamute is basically just a big husky in a lot of ways. So Liberty's not that fluffy necessarily, but it's Liberty's face. So I got that one too. So yeah, so that was my only real haul. Yeah. I got my color and cotton fabric, but I don't know where I put it. So I think I put it away and I don't remember which one it was. Sorry. So I did get color and cotton fabric of the month back in like early December. Maybe I showed that in my last video. I can't remember. I'm going down to every other month with color and cotton, and I'm only getting the 40 count. So my next one will come in February. Yeah, and then last but not least, I have a giveaway. So the other giveaways, I just heard from the last person for my last set of giveaways. So so I haven't sent any of those out yet, but this one, when I hear back from this person and have a address and everything for this one, I will then send out all of them. I just want one trip to the post office. I don't want multiple. So once I have this winner's information, all of the giveaways will go out, okay? So this last one was Dinky Dyes Pacific Ocean Silk. And you had to say the word ocean in your comment on my last official FlossTube. And the winner is Texidian Stitcher 7992. So Texa, Texadian Stitcher 7992. So if that's you, please email me at georgiagirlstitching@gmail.com and I will, with your address, and I will get this out with all of the others ASAP. I have Thursdays and Fridays off for this month. So hopefully, hopefully you get back to me soon and we can get all these giveaways out. If I don't hear from you by my next video, I will call a new person. My next video will hopefully be in like 2 weeks. I'm aiming for January 20th to be my next video, because then I'll be back from Stitch Away, and that's my last opportunity in January to do a video, I believe. Yeah, because the following weekend I'm going to be in Connecticut. So January 20th, 21st, one of those, that weekend, I'm doing another video. If I don't hear from you by then, it will be the next person, because I want to get these out. Okay, I think that's everything. If you have reached out and I have not responded, please reach out again. Let me know, comment. I'm so sorry. This year has been insane, so I'm so sorry if I missed something. Please let me know if you have any questions or any ideas or comments. I hope to do some more like before and after pictures now. I would love to do more giveaways this year. Like, I really want to give back more and do more of what you guys like. So let me know if there's anything in particular. And yeah, in the meantime, stay well. Hope January continues to go well for you, and happy stitching, everyone. Bye.